Good evening, folks, and welcome back to another edition of the Sports Desk. I know you guys probably had a very good August and festival, and we're back here again in the studios live at sports. Joining me in my studios, as usual, is my main man, my co-host, Paul on the ball. I understand that you had a fun time without me this time, huh?
Well, Carl, we did miss you, terribly, but we knew you were gone for a good cause. And I'm hoping that the folks get the
full blood?
I'm hoping that they get to hear your new accent. He's hiding it now, but he had acquired a new accent while he was away. And I'm hoping he shares it with you, the general public.
Of course, but your help, I can do that.
With my help? Am I going to help you speak? I don't think I'm going to do that.
Well, folks, again, if you're just joining us, our numbers are the same, 541-7541 if you want to join us. If you want to send us a text, it's the same number, 541-7541. And in the studios, we have some guests, Paul. I'll let you introduce.
Sure. We have with us a face well known by all the youngsters, a gentleman who's been doing mammoth work with the youngsters through the years. I have to say, very impressed with his performance over the years. No stranger to the public, Mr. Milton McLean. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Along with him, a young man who seems to be following right in his footsteps, doing a great job with the youngsters, Roger Smith.
Yeah, good evening.
Great to have you guys here.
Thank you.
Well, it's I guess you guys, it's long awaiting. I know your league has started. You guys were supposed to be here before the opening of your league. So we'll jump right into it. Let us know what's going on. Mr. Roger?
Well, we kicked off last week, Friday, the 15th of August. We had a pretty good turnout. I must say, before I go on, I must say that I want to thank all the fans that come to the games. The teams play for the fans, and they continue to come out night after night and support the games. And it's really appreciative to see them come out and continue to come out. Opening night, we had the defending champions for the junior division play the first game, along with Targon played West Gunners, which they were the conference finals, and Avengers played Ruffles for the final game of the night.
Yeah, but before you continue, I just want you to let everybody know what games you're talking about.
The game where, I mean, like this.
What league are we
We're still here representing the Honorable Julian Fraser Save the Seed National Basketball League. We're in our second season, and it's so far it's going really great. We had the first weekend went by, and I must say I'm proud of what we was able to accomplish thus far.
Now, there's a lot of changes has been made so far to the league. Mr. McLean or Roger, you guys could let us know what's going on. I know initially when you guys started off, it was basically an intermediate and junior league. I see now, I hear a lot about drafting and I hear a lot of A-League players and stuff falling into the league. You want to explain a little bit of that for us?
Well, yeah, I could go into that. I would still say that we're basically an intermediate league. And that's why we had the draft, because, myself being a basketball fan, I hate to see uncompetitive games. You go to a game, you got the team game blow out 160 to 50. I ain't gonna feel impressed to come out to watch those type of games. So what we did with the draft, the teams that came in last year had the first preference to get higher picks. So take a team like the Third, for instance, they was able to pick up Ray Victor. Now the Third becomes a contender. So now anything can go walk in there and think you're going to just go run up on the Third. So I would still say that the basic skill level is intermediate. So there's only one draft player per team. So when you see you hear these names there and stuff like that, we have rules. And once a player fit the rules, whether the age, the skill level, they qualify to play under the certain rules that we have.
Now, how many teams are we looking at for this season now?
Michael can answer that one.
17 teams in the senior division, 4 teams in the junior division.
17 teams?
17 teams total. We have 8 teams in the senior division representing the East, and we have 9 teams representing the West.
But there seems to be a lot more teams than the Federation Basketball League.
I'm not sure about that, but people have become very, very interested in the league, and they've, registered to play. So we basically let them in.
So how long is the league projected to go on for? You have 18 teams. How many games are played a week?
We expect the league to finish by the 2nd of November. That is to say, of course, you wouldn't expect each team to play. You wouldn't expect a team to play all the teams. So we have it in divisions, and they'll play mostly within their division.
You want to explain a little bit of that to me? I'm trying to.
Well, just like we did last year, we had about 12 teams last year, and each team played about 8 games. So we're looking about like the same system. Probably each team play about 8 to 9 games, and
so how many games are you going to have a week? I mean,
a week.
Yeah.
Right now we got about 3 games on Friday, 4 games on Saturday, and 3 games on Sunday.
Okay.
So that's be like 10 games a week.
No, like I said, there was a lot of well, I actually wasn't here for the opening, but I got a lot of information while passing and responsive. I really wanted to ask you guys. People are saying that, you know, the Federation had its league where the 18 players and the national players have been played. They saw them play all year round. So here's the opportunity now for a fresh set of legs, fresh faces to be seen. And you guys have actually, like you said, drafted in those same players. So, I mean, the concern was, I mean, you know, what was the idea behind the whole thing? I mean, you said something about teams being blown out and stuff like that, but I guess, you know, if you will...
Yeah, before he answers that question, I just want to throw in something here. And I had made the point before at the opening of the Julian Fraser League, in that from a Department of Youth Affairs and Sports perspective, the focus for associations has to be for them to have basketball leagues. And the focus on the federation has to be to do away with them running the National Basketball League. The National Basketball League should not be run by the federation. So we need more of what's been happening by Save the Seed, whereas these individual associations are running. So Save the Seed becomes an association now, where they are running a basketball league, and the federation oversees these leagues. The same thing, they govern and oversee the league. So that kind of leads me into Roger being able to answer his question now. But the reality is that they should have the leeway to draft these players, because these players shouldn't necessarily be tied down to a federation league, because the federation league should not exist, right? There should be different association leagues governed by the federation. The question that you're really asking, Carl, is if there is, you know, you're still going to ask, so what about the National League, right? But the National League, you know.
The reason I'm going to ask the question, because the statement that you're making right now is that if you're going to say that these associations is going to be running, responsible for running leagues, and the federation is responsible for governing,
well, that's
when you do select a national team, how is this going to be selected if the federation doesn't have a say?
I never said the federation doesn't have a say.
Say again?
I never said the federation doesn't have a say. The federation must have a say in who's picking the national team.
You said the
but doesn't have a say
governs the leagues. So.
But the federation is not their responsibility to run leagues. It is not the federation's responsibility to run the league.
Okay.
That was long talked about from before when we said
it is not the
Let
federation's responsibility.
me ask you this question from a different angle now.
Yes. You've grown up with
I'm looking
that
at it now from an Olympic chain going down.
Right. How does the player, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
How does the player make it on the USA national team? There's no federation league. How do they make it a national? How do they
NBA draft.
So they're drafting from
NBA teams.
They're drafting from NBA teams. So therefore, we draft from the Save the Seed team. We draft from Summer Jam. We draft from the BD League. We draft from all these teams to make a national team.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying is, here it is that...
Not we, the federation.
Yes, I'm saying now, here it is that these guys, the same guys that have been drafted,
yes,
have been, you've watched them play a whole season.
Correct.
And now here it is now that you have a fresh set of legs. You really want to see, so if there's anything, you can move them up to a different level.
Right.
But these same players that you saw the whole season now are playing in the same level as these guys are playing. I thought you draft up and not draft down. But to me now it sounds like you're drafting down. If you look at it.
No, why
would you be drafting down? I don't understand.
The level of basketball play that he's talking about now.
But that's just for their. Hold on. That's just for their. That's just for Save the Sea. But there have to be other leagues around.
So you get to. You
understand why? That's just one league.
You understand what I mean?
That's what he's saying. But I think you're getting a little carried away. Because I'll show you something, right?
Show me.
When we say intermediate, I'm not talking about a guy less or whatever. And take for example, we have rules, right? if a player is 23 and under, he qualified to play in all league. Take your guy Dion Edwards for example. How he will consider he is a great basketball player. He plays good basketball.
And play to the highest level.
Right, but he's qualified to play under all rules.
So now here it is
that's been all ruled from last year.
Yeah, but here it is now that you're telling me that a person like Dion Edwards, who's been playing to the highest level now, is being drafted down to your league level in order to play in your league. I think that is a step backwards.
That's for their league, but
yes, please.
There'll be other association leagues. In other words, the young legs team will still exist. All the other different teams.
But let me ask you then, that's the situation. Why can't a whole A-League team from this one basketball league come into your league?
Because they don't fit the rules.
So what are the rules?
I think we should have worked with a rule book so you can understand the rules. If you had,
but
if you went through our rule book, you would have, like for example, right? But if a player, let me show you what qualifies to enter the draft. If a player have made it in playoff or championship in the annual league, they have to come to the draft in order to be eligible to play in all league. Any player or team that didn't make a player qualified to play in all league.
So how come this is the first time
However,
that this draft thing has been adopted?
Yeah, but
it hasn't been adopted last year.
Yeah, no, it's something new they brought in.
According to you, there was in the rules.
No. The drafting is something new, and I must say that.
Oh, okay, no.
It wasn't in the last year.
Well,
now you get into the picture. But why are you so defensive?
No, because I want to make a point. Because I want to make a point. In that, the point I want to make, guys, is this: is that what Save the Seed is doing develops a lot of younger players. It's developing, it's growth in basketball. Now, I want to make the point for those who are listening to me. The association leagues still exist. The young leagues, all of the teams still play. But that's not governed by, that should not be governed by the federation.
Okay, whether or not,
that will still exist.
Whether or not, we understand that. That's a different level of basketball compared to the level that
so their level is still necessary. The point is that if a player like Dion Edwin or whoever wants to come in and play in their league, they can't walk with Steve Powell and with Ray Victor and form a team. They have to abide by their rules to play in their league. That's all it is.
Listen,
so they're not going down. No. They're playing at that level. In other words, a young player.
But they are stepping down.
But no,
they're not stepping down. They're playing at their league. They're playing their league.
That level of competitiveness, why are you allowing draft players like national team players to come in your league?
No, that's
because all the players that you
Carl, how the better players going to learn? How the better players going to learn?
No, but then hold on. This is how
they have to learn against the big.
No, but hold on. My opinion on
new players.
Let Mr. McLean get nowhere. My opinion on it is
we
use a league like his.
Yes.
To see how the players develop.
Right.
Once you the bigger teams like the Young Legs and the East and all of them, they would be recruiting out of their league for the other league, which you said that the federation shouldn't be running.
Correct.
That's how.
That league still exists. Correct.
No, I understand. But that's what I'm saying. That's how I figured it should be run.
Correct.
Not the opposite.
Right. No.
But it is now that you have a league that's going on. You have potential good players could come out of your league.
Sure.
But would be outshone now by the national team players or the drafts that you have stepping down to play in your league. So now, when you want to recruit now, how is that possible?
Well, I think that, you say you've been out for a month. And, if you had gotten some time...
I like that.
Why am I answering, man? Roger's on it.
I must say, Julian said that.
I think he's been around the bridges for too long.
But anyway, go ahead.
So, I mean, if you look at our rules and understand what we did, I think it's something you could be appreciative of. I mean, and even if you come to the games and you see the draft players play, it won't make such a big deal like you hear thinking. Take a guy like Steve Powell, for example. He haven't played yet with his team, but he's committed to play this team. His team already won 2 games straight. Beagle coaching the team. They probably won the 2 games, but you imagine 2 points the first game, probably 5 the other game. All the games are competitive. Take Cameron Young, for example. He played with his team, and everybody kind of incorporating and playing team ball. I mean, like he said, why should everybody who go college or go pro come back and want to play for Young Legs? What are you telling a team from Eastern or Seacorsby or Western that they must pick up all the players are learning to come play basketball to go play against Young Legs?
No.
So I
think you want to say this.
He does. Okay, go
ahead.
All right. Here's our guest. Go on.
First of all, I appreciate Cal,
Yes.
you know, you're looking at it from the other side, okay? But let's for example, look at it seriously. The fans are the most important people.
Of course.
Okay? And what we've tried to do here with this draft is to bring in some players to basically level off the competition. Now, in our rules and regulations, rules and bylaws,
Which was just added, I
yeah.
might say, yes, this year.
you
we
would,
had it from
you,
last
you
year.
would
Well,
not
so the
create...
draft
It's-
is new.
it's-
Okay,
The
is
draft
new.
helps.
developed.
The draft helps to make sure that there's a balance because only one player can go per team. That's what the fans want. The fans want to see, whether you like it or not, the fans would love to see Kennedy Bass playing on a team, but he's opted out. The fans would have loved to see Jason Edwin on another team, opted out.
But
The fans would have loved to
opted out the
see
same way.
David Bolo
would you do that?
Lexum. No,
But I'll
this
tell
comes
you
to,
why.
and I'm saying this now to even come to your point so people can see the other side.
Okay.
Where you are talking about these elite, so-called elite players
National.
actually going in at a lower level of competition.
Right.
Okay? And that point is well taken, Cal. But remember what we want here. We want to spice up the league, and get the fans to appreciate these games even more. And finally, the teams themselves love the idea of adding a superior player.
Okay.
But
Now,
Carl,
my
okay,
question-
can I make my point? No,
hold
no,
on,
no,
hold on. My
wait.
question, before I forget, you know, I'm
But
short-minded.
I'm going to forget my question because it's been so long. Georgia, you wouldn't give me a chance to make my
Okay,
point.
all right,
Thank
come on,
you.
co-host, go.
Wow, co-host can't get a
Before-
point in
Before you make your
here.
point, folks, if you want to join in on this conversation, it's very intense right now.
It is?
You can give us a call. 541-7541. Tell us how you feel or send us a text. We're willing to take your responses and read them because I think you might have a point in this too. But go ahead now, sir.
No, I just want to say, and
Before I have to use my British accent on you.
yes, but I'm waiting. It's due any second now, by the way. I'm bringing it out.
Go ahead,
But
Larry.
I just, what I want to say is, first of all, we have to understand that, okay, what we refer to as a national league, which I'm saying should not be run by the federation, that league is at one level. You can't expect all the other leagues, Summer Jam, Save the Sieve, BT League, all the other leagues to be running at that same level. We can't expect that. It'd be great if they are, but we can't expect that. And the National League really should be at a higher level. So that's the first thing. That's my first point. So secondly, when we have a league, let's say like Save the Sieve, that's what we're talking about now, right? Now, so they're playing at a certain level, correct?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
So the guys have said, listen, there's the instability in the league. We want to give the opportunity to top players to come in, to draft in. But they're going to control it by drafting them in. What they don't want is a bunch of players who are really good ending up all on one team. What it does, this is the point I want to make now, what it does, it ensures for the younger players coming up can now play alongside some of the really good players and learn and develop their basketball skills by being with these guys on the same team rather than going to the National League and watching them play.
Okay.
And that's where they develop.
Hold on, point.
Also, lastly, it also now it teaches these older players to be a bit more humble, be more graceful, and learn to play along these players who are at a lower league. Now, they don't have to do it, but for a lot of guys like Ray Victor and for Kennedy Bass and Jason Edwin, it would be really good for them to be playing with these younger guys and helping to develop their game. They have to be like a Magic Johnson now and pass around the ball and teach these guys their skills rather than going there and dunking everybody's head.
Okay.
What
Question.
point when you're done?
Question. Before I answer your question, I'm going to ask you this
I made a
question.
statement.
go ahead.
I didn't make
Before I get to it.
respond to my statement.
Ray Victor has played in the league, yes?
He didn't play the first game.
Has any of the drafts players that you
Yes.
played?
Yeah.
Yes.
What were their stats compared to the regular players in their team? Superior?
Nah.
Um,
Were they outshone?
Nah.
So
Well, the one player that really stood out so far was Dion Edwin. I mean, that guy threw down 2 dunks.
okay.
Carl, if you were there, you
I,
really appreciate it.
I rest my case when I made that statement.
But
okay?
let me answer the question.
Good.
I'm quite
But I don't
sure
answer the
what point
question.
he's
And
making.
then,
But go ahead.
what you
know what I'm
you
getting-
saying?
you know what I'm
Okay,
getting
let
at.
me
You
get
know
what
I'm
you're
getting
getting
at.
at. What
You
you're
know I'm
saying
getting
is that, but we point a draft in there. We're taking away from the players who we are normally would have showcased.
Exactly.
But I don't really see that
Exactly.
as being the case. Take for example, right? When he said that Jason Edwin opted out, we said you would have done it too. And I think that if you had an opportunity to go away and you got a chance to come back and teach, no, he didn't tell you even though Jason Edwin opted out, he decided to coach a team,
I would have done that.
right?
I would have done that.
So it ain't like, okay, he opted the draft, and the reason he opted is because one of the same reason we didn't want. he wanted to go on a team where he feel had the best players for he to play with. How could he teach somebody something, wanted to do something like that?
So now it comes back to my point, which is what I want to state in the first place. If I had the opportunity like he did, and if I wanted to help your league, like you said, coming and coaching is helping your league the same way. The same players that you're talking about that you figured I would have been wanting to play alongside him, to me, I mean, he's on so much of a superior level to try to come back and teach while playing. It's very difficult. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Playing on a high level and trying to step down into, so to speak, basic basketball, it's kind of difficult. So I can understand on the opt-out, but as far as coaching, yes.
Okay.
I have
a call?
A text
okay, well, while you're with the text, I'll just say that it is difficult, Carl, but it's very possible, right? And for the better, more developed players who
you're basically saying that the players that they have right now are trash.
No,
They can't get the shot. They can't get the shot.
So
that's why you have to bring in people to help them to shine.
No, that wasn't. I never got that. I never got that.
If I came last year, it would mean that I have to put a lot more training and effort into up to my team for the next season.
So Carl,
you didn't really give me the opportunity to do that.
So the NBA players that have the first pick draft. Hold on. The NBA players that have the first pick draft are trash.
Understand what I'm saying? You cannot cut.
It's the same thing.
No, it's
Why?
not. It is not.
Why?
It is not. And like you just made a statement saying that these guys are on a different level.
Yeah, but you're saying the team that get in the first pick draft are trash.
The Save the Seed league is basically
it's a lower level
intermediate junior league where you look at potential players who has the opportunity to be drafted into the upper league according to what you're saying, into the higher level league.
Right.
But now Heritage, you have it on the flip side. You have in the higher level players up to come down and play among these guys.
My fault.
I know it is not.
The committee, whoever running the basketball league in town, ain't doing nothing to make the league interesting.
No, but hold on.
But wait, no, what you're talking about, because look at Eastern League, for example. You could submit a roster with 10 people, and 6 of them gotta be from Eastern, or 5 of them gotta be from Eastern. So that means, like, what happening is that a guy like, let's say Jason, Edwin, and somebody could walk on one team and say, put him on one team. That's their rules. We got our rules. So I don't see how you keep trying to say, okay, we're doing some mediocre. I get your point, you know. But at the same time,
you don't think I'm making sense?
Well, I won't say I'm making sense. I think we have a difference of opinion. Okay. That is your opinion going forward, and what we think we need
to very well spoken.
I think Julian Fraser sent the right man on the show.
And Julian Wagner too. He's very well spoken.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I forget Julian. You're calling names.
I like that.
If this is what we as a
committee...
But
again,
wow,
the rules came in this year.
well,
so if it was there from the beginning, I had no problems.
Well, you know, as a committee...
But let me ask you, is there opportunities for, you said no, from a whole team, a league team coming and playing in your league?
No, there's no opportunity.
So this team that comes from, that Julian Willock owns, is that playing in your league?
Yeah.
He played in A League?
No, that's what I tell you have to check the rule book. If a team
does
not make it playoff or championship,
so all the teams that didn't make it in the A-League could come down and play in your league?
Why ain't make it playoff or championship?
Could come down and play in your league. Okay, on that note, guys, we're going to take a break and we come right back.
On that last point.
That's right.
Stick and stay.
Sports Desk is sponsored by Lime, the better, faster 4G network.
Are we back yet? Welcome back. I hope that we're back. Just before we left, we had some good... Matter of fact, I have a call coming in. Let me see if this call is... I can take this one. Good evening, you're on the sports desk?
Yeah, good evening, guys. How are you?
Good,
very good.
Okay, I have a question, then I have a plus for Carl, and then I have a plus for the league. My boy Paul, I don't leave you tonight. Okay, Carl, I understand your logic clearly.
Yes. Good.
Because you see, you to play, or you used to play,
right?
And you understand if I'm at level A, and you're going to ask me to play with level B players, I can understand how that could work on you mentally, especially if you're playing with Sox players.
Good.
So I was understanding you clearly from that standpoint.
Good.
But then the league says their objective is one, balance, better competition, and obviously they want to say this, but you want good attendance, and the people who's running the concession, they also got to make money. So they try to add attractive players.
Okay.
To get better competition, one, and two,
The full place.
attendance. So
Yes.
you can't knock them for that.
Okay, yes, I can.
He has, but he can't. He shouldn't. He shouldn't.
Okay.
Following the trend about the draft, okay, the championship team, well, last year I watched the playoffs, so I get to understand a little bit about the league. I did like the championship team, and I think they tell me all them guys were from the Bellevue area. True?
Right.
Yes. 6 districts.
Okay, who did they draft a player? That's my first question.
They
Well,
have a plan,
there were
have
no
a
drafts.
player, yes.
Oh, sorry.
They had an opportunity, Jeff?
They have a player.
They
They have drafted a player.
Did they dra-
He said yes. He said I had the opportunity.
They have drafted a player.
Oh, they have drafted a player, he said.
Not on opening night,
Okay,
but they had the option to
and
get a player.
that
but they
player
have.
now is in the starting rotation.
We expect so.
I don't know who they start and who they finish.
We expect so, but go ahead.
They expect so.
Okay, because I'm not looking for a contradiction exactly.
But I know you're coming from with it, though. but-
Usually the draft will help the teams that, let's say, didn't make the playoffs or bring them up to a higher level. So I'm saying now, if you're the champion and then you draft another player, so now that only makes them stronger.
But let me
and
ask-
you want the weak get strong,
Let
not
me-
the strong get stronger.
Let me ask-
You're talking about balancing out the league. Are you guys agree with me? Yes or no?
Yeah, but let me answer it quickly. We had the draft picks were done by raffle, by way of raffle, and they were raffle based on the record you had last season, and I think that based on the record the team from Bellevue had, they had pick number 6, and when the guy pulled his number out of the raffle, he get pick number 16. So that means Ruffles were the last to draft. So you go back to your point again where you're trying to say the team that had a lower record would have got a better draft pick. And I tell you now that did happen. So now when you're saying that the championship team would be stronger, I think that the better set of players would already got
Okay,
taken.
okay. So exactly how many players were in the draft, or how many teams picked players?
Well, what happened is that every team they participate in the draft. They
the draft.
pick the pick, but when the people that they wanted got draft,
Go ahead.
they omitted and say they're going to see what happened and try to get a trade and stuff like that.
You guys trade them too?
Yes, it's a big thing going on, yes. yes.
The trade was supposed to happen on opening night.
Okay. Anyhow, I wish you good luck. I didn't make the first week, so when I get time, I will.
Yeah, we'll come down and watch.
All right.
Yeah, definitely.
And we expect great picture, Shadow.
I will understand. Usually I will power, but I will understand.
Thank you. At least I got support. Okay, thanks. Okay,
See, that's in Texas,
yes,
Carl.
let me. They said, Carl, you see how so-called stardom kill volleyball, super team wanting to accept best players only, same national female team over 25 years. That's one. Okay. You guys understood what they said?
Yes, he's saying that
When you put all the best players
team
on
that had
one
all
team.
the great players on
Okay.
one team.
This one said is, what
Killed
about
it.
those teams that did not pick up a player in the draft? That's another question.
They had an
I-
option of opting out. They didn't have to. We didn't enforce this on anybody. Okay? If we didn't impose it on anyone. If you wanted to select a player from the draft, you had all right to do, or you opted out of the draft.
And I'm
A few
also
teams
to that-
opted out, and we're not holding it against them.
Okay. This person said, I must let you guys speak and stop cutting in on you. So
Wow.
I'll give him a...
Carl.
No, I actually read it, didn't I?
Oh, you did?
Okay, okay.
Carl, you've grown. In the old days, you've never read that. Let's say good night to Carl's mom, by the way. Am I cutting it?
This Carla that just called made a valid point. Here it is now that I'm the championship team. I opted for the draft. I got a player. Now, I won. But here it is now, I opted that draft, and then he's in my starting rotation, which, again...
That's not confirmed.
No, I'm just making a statement, but
Okay.
it could happen with any other team.
Yes.
The drafted player now moves up to the starting position, which pushes back down somebody who would have been a potential. And that's my point.
I think that we had about 10 games over the weekend,
Yes.
and I think about 7 or 8 of them were won by 2 points. So in my opinion, the games are very competitive. You can't go there and tell me this thing gonna beat that team.
No, but
Okay.
I can't.
I tell you,
couldn't
I
have
can't
before.
tell you neither.
I couldn't have before.
Yeah.
I couldn't have
Well,
before.
well, put your money where your mouth is.
No, I couldn't have
you go see
before.
what you think is the best team based on the draft player, and you could do something.
But then, like I say, as a draft player
Mm.
on that level, it's very difficult trying to play reverse basketball. To me, that's
I
what
don't
it's
think
like.
it's reverse basketball. I think it's
Because it could be frustrating, and then you know.
no. I think it's a contribution actually. Take and go back to Ray Victor and the team the thought. The team the thought is a group of young guys from Crosby, very young guys, practicing day to day on the basketball court. And here it is a guy like Ray Victor, for the love of basketball, decided to play with the guys still. He's gonna go in there, teach them what he knows. It's a guy that been to college. He played with the Guyana national team, and he gonna assist and show them the ropes and help them to be a better team, not a better player.
You think he can do all of that while playing?
Of course.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be successful in one season, but at least the guy's gonna feel motivated playing along a guy like him.
But okay, so now I'm glad that you made that statement, because next season, can he play for another team?
Well, the committee haven't finished decide.
So the rules are still being.
No, the rules ain't still
It's
being
still being worked on, because.
No. They're jumping ahead of me.
No, okay, well,
We have a committee.
I'm
okay?
giving you an option. I'm giving you an option to answer that question.
We have a committee, and it ain't nothing because I the commissioner here assist on things go so.
Oh, that's how it is. Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
just
okay.
realized
We
that.
got a body that we have to sit down and sell off.
So have
and
you guys thought of something in that effect?
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, we start working on how to make our league better next year, this year. I mean, we think that we did what we could have done this year. I mean, like we start meeting in January. I mean, I don't know when the federation start meet, but we start our meetings from January, having our league done November, to put together to where we are now. We didn't just start.
So with
to do
your
this.
17 teams, you think you could finish in November?
Well,
Yes,
we have a
play
working
limited games.
committee.
Yes.
Oh, yeah?
And we sit down and, as we speak, I got people that are doing their part of it now.
So now you're still, like I said, still working on the rules to find out if the next season, that same player.
No,
can play
It
for
has-
another team.
don't quote me. on
If,
saying
if
that.
I
I
may,
said-
if I may, it
Okay.
has already been. We've already suggested that
But
players should be
I'm a-
committed
okay.
for 2 to 3 years, but it's not
Oh,
set
okay,
in stone.
okay,
We've
okay,
already
okay.
made a
Good, good,
suggestion.
good.
All right, yeah.
But it's not made in stone.
A comment just came in for you guys. It said, good job, Roger and crew.
Wow,
Okay,
okay, getting better.
It says, as the guys, how the other teams don't know about who are the new players that was drafted after the draft was done.
Well, I think some teams reach late for the draft, to be honest with you, about 2 or 3 teams. And we had put out the time that we were going to be there. People show up 9 o'clock when the thing done and asking us how we could accommodate them. So I think what we did was trying to sit down with them individually and see what can be done for them. I think Mr. McNeil been handling that. And like I say, we is a committee that works, and everything is up to the committee. So I can't tell you per se what going to be done or what we're planning to do or stuff like that.
No, I asked you a question earlier. If you said teams that didn't make it to the playoffs, championships in the National League, could fit into your league as a team. As a team.
With
As
a
a
limited
team.
number of players.
No,
Oh,
as
oh,
a
sorry.
team, go ahead.
Not a full team.
Okay, so explain that, because I don't think the general public, when we were talking behind the scenes, what that was all about.
A non-playoff team
Yes.
would be accepted in the league with up to 6 of their players. They cannot bring the full team, and then they would have to add new players. Basically, that's it.
Can there be any last-minute requirement if there's an injury to a player?
Yeah, that's in the rules.
Yes, you
It's
need
in
to
the
bring
rule
a
book.
medical certification saying that the player is unable to play, and then that person can be replaced. However, in the committee meetings, we've also looked at teams who might try to take advantage of that and keep dropping people and saying that bringing a medical. So we've said that we'll use the discretion on that so that it doesn't become a problem.
Teams like the championship teams, who did that team added? I guess they want to know who was added to the championship team.
Who was added to the championship team?
Yeah.
Jamori Degu from Bellevue, And we expect their draft choice would be added, which is Sean Chino Woods.
So wait a minute. Jamari didn't want?
Jamari is a B-League player. He qualifies just from his age. I think he's about 18 or 17.
Okay.
Jamari Degu.
Okay. So I hope that answered your question. Paul, I haven't heard from you in a while. You seem to be in agreement with everything.
Paul been on the island, you know.
Yeah, he seemed to have everything. Do you have a rule book, Paul?
I have browsed the rule book. But what I would say, and I just being fair, I have no challenge in, and the caller did say that you were a player, and he's assuming that I wasn't, but of course I have. I have played at that level, incidentally. I played national level in about 8 different sports. Nevertheless, it's not about me. It's about Save the Seed and the Honorable Julian Davis, Julian Fraser's league.
I don't think I wanted to.
You're not jumping in, are you?
No. I just wanted to make sure that the general public understands.
I just want to make the point that, in my humble opinion, I see nothing wrong with let's for the use of a better word, say the A-class player play in the Julian Fraser League, because in my humble opinion, if that player is a mature player, he is as good as he claims that he is, he should be able to temper his game to a level where he can play with these younger players and begin to learn. The young guy from Guyana, Miller, who plays for the NBA, I watched Ray Victor learn from this guy during the games and develop, and his game improved, because I watched all of Guyana's games, right? I watched all of everybody else's games, by the way, just in case you're startled. And Ray Victor learned from him, and he hugged Ray, and he said good, and he was nudging him all the time, and he was pushing him. And initially he wasn't feeding Ray, and then when he realized how good Ray was, he began to feed him, and he began to talk to him, and Ray's game developed just by playing around another NBA player. In the same way, Ray can pass on knowledge that he has acquired from this NBA player to a younger player. What he has to do is, rather than dunking all the balls and trying to be the hero and getting all the points and having all the stats, that's not the objective of the exercise. What he has to do is to learn to develop his game as a... I can't finish the sentence?
No, I want you to catch your breath a little bit, okay? So, let me just interject here, Bree.
To develop his game as a player, as a better player, and get other players involved. That's what LeBron James and Magic Johnson had to do in their games to become better players. Learn to get other players involved in the game. And that's what a great player, a top-class player does when he's playing with lower players by him. He's not there to develop his game to a higher level. He's there to develop the other players. It doesn't affect his game as long as he's playing at a certain level.
Can I interject now?
You asked me to speak, I did.
Okay, can you catch your breath? I have a question for you.
Yeah.
It said Mr. Woods was took off the draft list on draft night. So ask the guys what's going on with that, because he was once told, once you were taken out. You was taken out. You cannot be drafted again. So we, the other teams, would like to know what's going on.
I want to answer that. I want to answer that.
No.
I need to.
No.
Please, I'm going to answer that.
Hold on.
I am. Listen, we're going to take a pause. Hold on. In a minute. I'm going to answer it first. We're going to take a pause for a cause. When we come back, we will deal with that.
Sports Desk is sponsored by Lime, the better, faster 4G network.
Welcome back, folks. If you're just joining us, we had a heated discussion right here talking about the Save the Seed basketball league. But before we get back into the guys, I just want to mention some events that's been going on. Of course, you know, our junior team has been to China, Nanjing, China, and they've been competing over the past several days. I know you guys probably saw Philip, younger Philip, was in the swimming. She did extremely well. You probably saw Kayla Penn.
Kieran McMaster.
Kieran.
In the 400 hurdle.
That went already also?
I think, I don't think he ran.
I don't think he ran yet, but I know Kayla Penn in the long jump. You saw Nelda Huggins in the 100. She made it through the final, the A qualifier. I think the young one in the hurdles, she was also featured, yes. So we want to let you guys stay tuned and keep on top of those. Let them know that they're there. Actually, I don't know if we had the opportunity to mention about the team that went to Scotland, our national team that went to Scotland, participated in the Commonwealth Games. Chantel Malone did very good. She got, I think she was placed 4th overall in the long jump. We had Ashley Kelly and Karine Kane made it through the semifinals. Eldred, a big thrower, he didn't do too good, but he was there. Sprinters didn't go through, so we didn't get a chance to hear from our sprinters. But all in all, I think everybody did well. The team did well. We have a good showing. Coming up next in track and field, I think, is the CSC Games, which will be sometime in November, so you should be looking out for a team that's going there. I think we have a call online, Paul. Let me get to that.
Sure.
Good evening, you're on the sports desk.
Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Hello?
Yes, good evening, you're on the sports desk. Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening to you, Carl, and good evening to Paul and your guests.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, Paul,
Yes, sir.
just to reinforce what you said earlier, it is mandated by FIBA, all federations within the Caribbean, that in the 5 zones, that the federations do not run any league.
Thank you.
The league is run by other persons, other associations that become members of the federation.
Thank you.
And the executive body of the federation govern those leagues.
Thank you very much.
And I believe the Save the Seed League is on the right path.
Correct.
It's a good step. And I believe that more players should have been in the draft.
Okay.
Because if you look at the Blazers team is a much stronger team now than the team that played in the National Federation League. And I remember during the National Federation League, I said to Jason, you and Young Legs is coaching this other team. You should be playing for this other team here.
Right.
Instead of playing on Young Legs full of all-stars already. So why stay in the mix? Go out and let it compete against you and improve the other players' skill and Blazers team around you. He just laugh.
Yes.
But now he's coaching the Blazers team. I think it's a good thing. I only believe that Mr. McLean and Raja, you guys, I believe that y'all should have seek a little more technical advice and dealing with the draft side of it. Because I see players who made the playoffs on teams and they won not in the draft. So I don't know if you want to shed some light on how that come about.
Okay. Well, based on the rules, if a player is 23 years and under, they could play in the league whether or not they make a championship or playoff. And that have always been the rule since last year. So you wouldn't, in a sense, hold back a younger guy, from playing in a developmental league, what to say.
Even if you win championship.
Well, take, for example, a guy like Kevin Litsom. He played on East last year. No, I'm talking about A-League basketball. He played on East last year, and East made it championship. But because he's a young guy, he didn't get much playing time. He came on a team from Eastern name tag done, and he's like the dominant player on that team now. So, I mean, that rule have always been there. So some of them kind of come in because of that rule.
Look at the same on the Unblighted.
Well, he fit the criteria.
He won championship.
Well, he fit the criteria.
Lose the call. Let's just leave the call.
You understand what they're saying, Colin?
Well, based on,
Yeah,
I support what you're saying, and we always have room for improvement, and we have a committee that listens, and we always want to know how to make our league better for everyone, not just us, not just the players, but also the fans and the people who come out and willing to sponsor us and stuff like that. So I would, when we get time, we could sit down and talk and see how we could continue to grow this league and make it better for all.
Well said?
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. I always have wanted to see all those all the college players play on different teams, spread them out. Not that everybody who went to college, we come and we form one team and we dominate the entire league.
It kills the sport.
Yeah, and we need to bring back the fan base.
Yes.
Bring back the fan base, full up the gym, and bring the sport back alive.
Well said.
All right.
Well, I'll jump in here before my host stops me. But I want to thank that caller for calling. He's very level-headed and intelligent young man.
Said, don't forget Mr. Woods.
Wow, am I getting distracted here
yes,
by the host?
Back to Mr. Woods.
So I'm glad he made the point, and yet again, it has been emphasized.
He said they want to answer on Mr. Woods tonight, please.
It has been emphasized that it is important for other associations, like Save the Sea, to do exactly what they're doing. And I made the point before that they're on the right track. And this is how you learn. We
do not dispute that, but we'd like to answer Mr. Woods.
Something that...
because they're asking me.
Oh, well, the text that the situation with Mr. Woods is something that we will have to go back in committee and look at. And that's the best answer I could give to them for tonight. They could, if they got a query, there's in the rules there's room for protest and stuff like that within the... So if they wanted to do something, they could. But, you know, they could, we're going to look at it.
Right, so
okay, for those folks who was, for the caller was asking about Mr. Woods, I'm hoping that Mr. Roger here cleared that all up for you. He said you have a right to protest, and they'll take it back to the drawing board.
Probably there was some misconceptions or something we didn't went right that had allowed him to probably come back into the draft. Or I don't know if I know, because what happened for you to get the draft done, what we actually had to do is go out and source each player individually. And I don't know if he was one of the players that had that was contacted. So I think when his name went up and nobody contacted him, we did not put players' name there that we did not speak to. Oh. So we would have had agreement for the draft. Take Kenny Bass, for example. I mean, his name was on the draft list. Before the draft, he said he had an injury. And then when a certain team come to pick, I think he was good at that point. and that's why we had to step our foot down and say, look, you don't see in the draft, you ain't in the draft. Okay. So that goes back to where you had players wanting to play for specific teams. Yeah. I mean, it almost cast uproar on there. All the teams like this can't happen. And we had to say, no, if your name crossed, you can't come back. Right. So there probably was some misunderstanding with Mr. Woods. And like I say, we're going, as a committee, we're going to go back to the drawing board and see what happened there. But I think it was a fact that nobody actually contacted him.
So now that we've passed the Woods issue, we've cleared that up. And thank you very much.
Okay, they said, so what happened to the other teams that would have wanted to pick up Mr. Woods?
Well, like I say, we're going to go back to the committee.
They can't...
Well, I'm just...
Well, come on now. We can't beat a dead horse here.
Yes, you may.
The rules in the draft, the rules are very clear in the draft. Okay? Now, we are going to revisit this.
Good.
How we got out of the draft, what the situation is, we can't determine now. But we're going to revisit this. Okay? And for sure, by tomorrow...
You'll get back to it.
We'll know for sure what's going on.
Okay, very well said.
So any team that is disrupted, but just check Mr. McLean, and you see. I
like how you pass the ball your snowball.
Well, no,
that's his responsibility.
We work together.
My question is Paul working for you guys?
No, I think that he's a director of youth affairs and sports.
Oh, that's what his job is.
Well, yeah, I would think so. And as the director, I think that he sees what he like in terms of growing the sport. Helping the youths them and stuff like that. I think that's all it is. If you were the director of sports and see it from where he sits and, see how everything going and see what happened, you would have, I think you'd be more appreciative.
Okay, I got you.
But as the caller that supported him said, he's speaking as a player. Sometimes players' eyes are a little overshadowed. They're not looking at the bigger picture. They're not looking at the bigger picture.
You did the same
They're not looking at the bigger picture and growth of the sports
it is basketball.
In the Virgin Islands.
But
development of the youth.
I must say, I congratulate you guys on a job. I have no problem with what these guys doing because, like I said, I had a team in there.
You did.
So, I just wanted to clear the air for those of folks who was asking me to.
For your buddies who asked you to
help to clear the air.
Help to clear the air.
I'm hoping that this has done that now. So I want to congratulate you guys, on a job well done. I know you guys do it big every year. You said the competition is a lot fiercer now.
We getting rings for the championship.
And that's another thing. That's another thing. How you guys get to that level, man?
Well, like I
My
said,
English is coming in.
I'm very impressed. It's coming. It's coming.
we got a committee. The committee decide what we gonna give for the championship team, and you know we rule that we gonna give some rings.
Carl, could I ask that Mr. McLean talk a bit about his sponsors?
Yes, you can.
Can't
Mr.
forget
McLean.
the sponsors.
Yes.
Mr.
They're
McLean.
the one that made this all happen.
If you
Mr.
could,
Mr. McLean.
please.
Let me just let the general public know we've stepped up this league, and therefore we have a bigger budget than last year, and we like anybody out there who has some money put aside to help us. But for now, let's just say that our sponsors are International Motors, the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, D&B Trailer and Hauling Services, O'Jays Naniki Hotel, Caribbean Insurance, CIBC, First Caribbean, Burke's Garage, International Motors, the Ministry of Education, Culture and Sports, and Nagico Insurance. We thank these sponsors. We expect that other people will join in because, as I said, we need more money. We need to make sure that we have enough money to buy these rings that we've promised the teams. So please help us out. We really appreciate it. And as you can see and as you've heard, we're trying to promote basketball and help out the youths.
Now, Mr. Smith, Carl is quite aggrieved that when he played, he never got a ring. And he wants to know why is it now that he went to England and spent, when it was so long, that you've decided behind his back to give out rings.
Well, I don't know if you're over 40, but there's also
He
a
is.
rule there saying that if you're over 40...
You don't qualify for a ring, so you would have got one anyway.
There's a rule, I think that...
I'm listening.
There's a rule now.
I'm listening.
If you're over 40 years old, no matter what skill level you're in, you're qualified to play. So Carl should try to see if we get nothing. And see what he can do, you know what I mean?
You're going to get a ring!
And I know that. I think that should be his Any wrap up, guys? Yeah, I mean, you just...
The matter of the league.
Yeah.
Respect yourself, respect the fans, respect the game. We think that this works both sides. The fans, when they come in there, they should understand that they're not coming in there to disrupt. They're coming in there to enjoy the sport, and we have to show respect. The players, who's everybody's looking at, need to also understand that it's very important that they set a high standard. We don't want to get into these disciplinary situations where we have to put out a team or suspend a player. We want the fans to come out and see everybody and really enjoy the game.
My question before I ask you another question: who are refereeing now?
We have
official referees?
Yeah,
or
yes.
just player ref? A player
No,
referee?
official ref.
Yeah.
No. Can you announce the games that are going to be played this weekend?
I don't have the
You don't have that
schedule.
out your head. Okay. Well, fair enough.
The schedule is up on Vino. You can just go up on Vino and find the schedule.
Okay.
Didn't you email it?
Paul,
Yes.
we're out of time here. So
We are?
You wanna
Oh, I was just going to
last
check
words?
my email and give you the
last words?
last words. Well, I just want to say I'm very pleased to see what Save the Seed has done, and we haven't even spoke about them as an entity on their own, and the marriage they have with the Honourable Julian Fraser and of course Julian Willer, and that whole committee with Roger Smith and Milton McLean. Very pleased with what they're doing. I have no problem with the draft that they're doing. I think it's a good thing. I'd like to see the bigger players, the better players humble themselves and come in there, and rather than trying to showboat, to work as instruments to teach the younger players, pass around the ball and only come in really big when you're needed. More than that, teach the players. So it's a development league. In my eyes, it's doing the right job. Let's see more leagues like this develop. Let's develop those leagues so that they don't clash with each other. Let's get the federation running leagues and not running federations and not running leagues. Governing, as Carl would like me to use that word. Let's have them governing leagues. And, guys, keep up the great work. That's what I want to say.
Thanks.
I like...
Do we have more time?
Mr. McLean would like to make another point. Go ahead.
We just want to say thank you to the players especially, because they make the game, special. And very, very exciting games, and we want to invite everyone to come out.
Yeah. And on that note, I just would like to reiterate a little thing that my colleague has just said.
Can I speak after you reiterate?
About associations, about different groups running leagues. I just want to inform you guys, if you guys didn't know, that the 40+ league is going to be on the way in October. We start back. So if you guys are interested in playing some basketball and netball and softball, we just added softball, 40+ games. They're going to be starting back in October, so please get your teams ready. Get them ready. Get the rosters and stuff out to you guys on early. So, Paul, if you want to play, there's a spot open for you. I don't know if JTV is coming back with a team. But we'll try to reach to the level of giving rings out for all league also.
but Carl, there's a very important point.
No,
that you
I have
asked.
the last say.
I know. That's why I'm speaking before you speak.
I have the
one
last
point.
Paul?
I got to make this point because you asked the question. You said, are there any big players who are in the league and wonder how much points they scored? Well, for the top shooters,
I have a call online.
For the top shooters, Isaiah Thomas had 6 points.
Okay, I have a call online. Carla, go ahead. You're on the sports desk. Oh, okay.
There you go. So that's the thing. For Isaiah Thomas had 6 points for the top shooters.
Okay.
That's a big name.
Fair enough.
Isn't it a big name?
Fair enough.
It's a big name.
Isaiah
You agree?
Thomas, you know.
Folks, on that note, I'd just like to say thank you for the guys that are coming in. You guys are, whenever you guys have information you want to let us know what's going on, we'll be right there. I know we can't make a team right now, but hopefully, McLean, you can play in the next league that's coming up. So we look forward to seeing you. We
Yeah,
have
but he
this
might wanna
caller.
dunk.
This caller just wanted to make this call. So, caller, you're on the line, please. You're the last call. Hello?
He's listening.
Okay. And on that note,
Oh, that's it. Carl's drawn the line there. On that note, good sports in here. Thanks.
Sports Desk is sponsored by Lime, the better, faster 4G network.